Everything you do in life requires skill. To learn math in schools, we were taught addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and then we put that knowledge into action via homework and assignments. To learn an instrument, you're taught to read the notes and how to play them, and you put that knowledge into action by actually playing that instrument. To learn a sport, you're taught the rules, the tactics, and the play styles, and you implement that knowledge by actually going onto the field or the court. But for some odd reason, most people don't treat making money the same way. Which is why in this video, I'm going to give you the 4-step framework that I'm going to use to get better at the skill of making money. Having money is important. Without it, you're subjected to a life of poverty and living paycheck to paycheck. But with money, you can live the life of your dreams, eating 5-star, traveling the world, and not having to worry about the price of things. We all acknowledge this. We all understand this, but for some reason, we don't try to actively improve at the skill of making money. I mean, think about it. In our schools, in society, everywhere we look, we're always told the same thing, that hard work and dedication is all it takes to become wealthy. But then at the same time, we see those with wealth. We see the successful as those who have clawed, who have scammed, or who have used some nefarious or diabolical methods to achieve the wealth that they currently have. And that line of thinking makes sense, because if hard work were truly all it took, the janitors, the construction workers, the people doing the hard labor jobs would be the most wealthy people that we see. But that's not the case. So what's the difference between the janitors, the people who are working these blue-collar jobs, and the ultra successful? While a small percentage probably have, they aren't cheating their way to the top. They aren't particularly better than you or I. The one difference is that they've mastered the skill of making money. And just like any other skill, improving at making money follows the same pattern. When I first made my $1,000 on Amazon, I learned information about Amazon FBA. I acted on it, I failed, and then I learned some more after that. To get better at YouTube, I learned about creating content. I acted on that information, I failed, and then I learned some more. And if you're still watching this video right now, hopefully that means that learning is paid off. In any case, you should be seeing a particular pattern by now, which I've decided to dub ICTF, your guide to the big bucks. Now, the first step in that framework is intent. Intent is your guide from getting from where you are now to where you want to be in life. When you keep an intention at the forefront of your mind, you're going to be able to take actions and make decisions that put you on the direct path to achieving it. Now, that might seem obvious, but you would be surprised at how many people don't actually do that. I'm sure you've seen it before. Maybe a friend or a family member might say that they want to lose weight, but then throughout the day, they're eating cupcakes, they're drinking soda, they're eating potato chips, and they aren't exercising. They aren't doing anything that's going to get them closer to that goal of losing weight. Or they might say that they want to get better grades, but rather than studying, they spend all of their time scrolling on social media, playing video games, or doing things that aren't getting them closer to that goal. They aren't keeping that intent in their mind, so they're not taking actions that are going to get them closer to achieving it. But when you do set that intent, when you do take it from a concept in your mind and bring it into the physical world, you're putting yourself on the fast track to achieving your dreams. And if you want a free guide on how exactly you can do that, click the first link in the description. Now, the second step in the framework is to curate your inputs. Now, before I explain what exactly that means, you need to first understand that the world operates in this sort of cycle of inputs and outputs. As an example, I recently got a sales job, and to succeed in that sales job, I'm going to consume information about sales and input into myself. And I'm going to output that information that I learned in the job, right? Calling people, booking appointments, that type of thing. Now, that output for me also serves as an input for the job I'm working at. And the more I input into it, the more likely I'm going to output the desired result, which is me making more money. Now, that was probably really confusing, but the only thing you really need to understand is that there are two types of inputs and outputs. There are personal inputs and outputs, and there are project inputs and outputs. And to improve at any skill, you need to start at the beginning of the chain, i.e. your personal inputs. You need to curate your information inputs, and you do so by only consuming the content that furthers your goals. As a bit of a personal example, when I first started going to the gym with the intention of gaining weight and improving my physique, I only consumed content that would further that goal. I watched a bunch of videos about weight training, about workout splits, about dieting that helped me achieve that goal. So if you want to get better at making money, then you have to consume information around the topic that's going to help you do so. There's books, podcasts, articles, audiobooks, YouTube videos. The information is endless. You just have to go up there and find it. And for those of you who say that you don't have time, let me ask you a question. Do you think that the Alex Hormozis or the Iman Gadzis or the Elon Musks of the world didn't have time when they were making their millions? They did, and so do you. We all have the same 24 hours every single day. The only difference is that they were prioritizing success while you aren't. You'd rather spend your free time or your downtime doing things like scrolling on social media, playing video games, or watching TV. Now, if that's you, the next step probably isn't going to help you very much, so I'll see you later. If that isn't you, well, let's go ahead to the next step, which is taking informed action. Without knowledge, action is useless, and knowledge without action is futile. I'm probably about to butcher its name, but Abu Bakr. Anyways, once you consume, you have to create. You have to put that knowledge into action. Otherwise, it's going to get lost in that vast amount of information you have in your brain, and it's going to be useless. Now, as an example, over the past few weeks, I've been meticulously studying how to get better at YouTube. Whether that be through creating better titles, creating better thumbnails, scripting better videos, editing better videos, or even changing my camera quality in order to record better videos. And I'm putting all of that into action right now. Now, if this video blows up, that means it worked. And if it doesn't, well, I'll cover that in the next step. But anyway, you need to act on the information that you're learning. Because through acting on that knowledge, you're going to come to insights and realizations that you wouldn't have if you were simply reading books and listening to podcasts. Now, taking action is going to lead you to results, but it's also going to lead you to failures, which takes us to the final step. Step 4 is to fail in order to direct further learning. We learn wisdom from failure much more than from success. We often discover what will do by finding out what will not do. And probably he who has never made a mistake never made a discovery. Samuel Smiles. When pursuing any project, failure is inevitable. What's important is what you do after that. Because you see, most people when they fail, they get discouraged, they get unmotivated, and they decide to quit and chase after the next shiny object. That's not how you improve at a skill. You can't improve if you're constantly changing the thing you're trying to do. They don't understand the beauty of failure. Thomas Edison only succeeded because he failed at making the light bulb so many times. Failure tells you what you need to do next. If you fail at gaining weight, then you need to go back and learn more information about bulking. If nobody's clicking on your videos, that means you need to learn more about titles and thumbnails. If you aren't making very much money, that means you need to go and learn the fundamental skills that are going to help you to do so, like marketing, sales, and persuasion. Those last two were about me. In any case, failure sits you on the straight and narrow and tells you exactly what needs to be done next. Then the cycle will repeat itself at the curation stage and continue to do so until you've achieved that intent, and then it will continue to do so even after that. I know that was a lot to take in, so I'll give you the TLDR. In order to improve at the skill of making money, you need to set the intention, you need to curate your information diet, you need to act on the information that you receive, and you need to use the failures from those actions in order to direct your further learning. If you can do that, I promise you'll be able to build the life that you desire. If you found value in this video, consider liking and subscribing so we can go ahead and boost this video into the algo. Now, if you want more content like this that's going to help you on the path of self-evolution a week early, consider checking out my newsletter, which is going to be linked in the description, where I post new actionable advice every Wednesday. Let's put the work in. Peace.